Welcome to our third annual holiday nail art series with me, Sarah, from Sarah's Nail Secrets.
And Talia from Talia's Nail Tales. This year we're doing 12 designs, but we're going to space them out a little bit different so the series lasts until Christmas.
So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss a tutorial. Let's get started.
Welcome to day 11, everyone. Day 11 was themed Christmas desserts, and I wanted to take full advantage of making her nails look like little desserts. So I left the audio in so you guys can see how I came up with the concept of this design.
Oh, I do love those. Those are cute.
Right? Like, how cute would that be if I did like a beige outline and then just did like the icing on top of it?
Yeah, I like the little lights.
So, yeah. And then I love like this. What do they call these? Charcuterie boards or something like that.
Oh yeah, like they usually have like cheese and meat on them.
Yeah, but I feel like this would be like almost too much. You look at the nail and be like, what is this? But I also like the sugar cookie idea.
Oh yeah,
like I really like and this. I want to do like a snowman that looks like a cake pop.
I like that.
Yeah. And then this is what I was kind of talking about with the spider gel.
Oh, okay.
So doing it like. We don't have to do it brown though. We could do it white because there's these ones that are white. It's hard to see in that picture.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they would look really cute too.
Cool.
And then I do like this like swirl cookie thing. And like the sprinkles. I don't know. That's kind of my idea for those.
I like those.
Just make them like treat nails. But I also think I want to make this look like a candy cane. So we'll do that one first. She still has these pointy nails on her pinky from our Halloween set that we just keep leaving on here because we keep doing such fun designs on her. So I decided to take advantage of the fact that it is pointy and turn it into a pointy candy cane. So I'm going to take some of Fusion's Walk the Stage because when I do designs like this where I just want to place certain products in certain areas, I like to use Fusion because it's a bit thicker so it stays where I'm putting it. And I like to apply it with a dotting tool. This way I get it exactly where I want it. And I decided to do the whites I do separate. Like I put one white on, then I cure it, do the second one, cure it. That way I can swipe my lines and make it a little bit straighter. So I do this 3 times to create the candy cane looking effect. And I wanted to use a red sparkle, so I'm going to use Light Elegance's Little Red Sled, and I'm going to apply this in the gaps where the white is. This way it kind of looks like a little bit of a candy cane here. I love how it looks when you do a solid white with red sparkle when you're doing a candy cane, but it also looks really good if you just use like a red color gel as well. But if I am going to use sparkle, I like to do it after I do my color gel. That way, because it doesn't really matter if like the sparkle is super perfect, and when you apply it down it kind of goes into the grooves of the color gel. It works a lot easier if you do color gel than sparkle, I found. When I very first started stamping 10 years ago now, I used to always embed all of my stamping, and since then I like to do it on top of a finished file nail. But for this particular design, I wanted it to look like all of the layers were kind of sitting together, so I did decide to stamp right on top of my color gel. So I remove my dispersion layer, then I stamp, and then I will embed all of these as well. The name is scratched off of this, but this is Vanilla Bean, and the reason that it's scratched off is because I decided to clean this pot off and the name came off of it. But this is Vanilla Bean. I'm going to use this all over her middle finger, which is the finger that is going to be the sugar cookie nail that we're going to put some Christmas lights on top of. I thought this was a good sugar cookie color, so I just decided to put this all over this nail. To do the white icing, I'm going to take white swimsuit from LE because it's not super bright white, and that way some of the sugar cookie will kind of peek through a little bit. Now I put this all over kind of randomly on top of the Vanilla Bean, but I feel like I put way too much on this particular nail. So if I was to do this again, which I did on her other middle finger on her other nail, I just didn't do as much because I wanted some more of that Vanilla Bean poking through. For the chocolate drizzle nails, I decided to use Light Elegance's Furs and Dames, which is my hands down favorite brown. I love the color of this. I think it is so nice, and I love that it's got a little bit of a pearl finish. I was originally thinking of doing like a white background instead and making like a white chocolate drizzle type of nail, but I do want to use some of the white On Vogue spider gel on top of this, so I figured if I did white on white I wouldn't really like the look of it as much, so I'm glad I chose this brown instead. I did want to do a gingerbread nail as well, so I'm going to use some of Nutty Nutmeg from Light Elegance. This is a really old brown. You guys have seen it in other videos in this series as well, but it works great for the background background of these Gingerbread Man nails that I wanted to do, so I'm going to do this on her thumbnail. Her pointer fingers are going to be the Snowman Cake Pop, so the background that I chose to use for that is Light Elegance's Iridescent Glitter Gel, and I'm just going to put a thin coat of this all over the nail, and then I'm going to go in with some of these Glitter Boutique glitters in Winter Carnival and Holidays. I wanted something that was really bright and sparkly and fun because I knew the majority of this nail was going to be the white cake pop snowman, so I thought that if I went in with some colorful glitters on top of a see-through background, it would make the snowman pop a little bit more. Now that I have all of my backgrounds done, I am going to embed all of these color gels and products using some of my Fusion SL Clear. We're going to work on her thumbnail first, so I'm going to take this Clear Jelly Stamper Christmas 36 plate that came out this year, and it has a bunch of gingerbread elements on it, and I decided to put gingerbread men on the thumbnail. So I'm going to do this little gingerbread man here with, it almost looks like he's got like a bite taken out of his head, and then I'm going to do a little house in the corner, which I wish I would have planned this out a little bit better because I would have put the house like lower down, but it's okay. And then I also decided to put a little sugar cookie on her nail as well because I thought it would kind of match the sugar cookie nail that we're going to do next. I loved how these little sugar cookies, I think that's what these are called, or sugar cookies, have Christmas lights on them. So I'm going to take this Clear Jelly Stamper plate, which is called All the Trimmings, and it does have little lights on it. So I'm going to use the little strings and put them in black, and then I'm going to go in with a bunch of different colors, red, green, blue, yellow, and purple to make the Christmas lights. I do really like how this turned out, but you kind of can't tell that it looks like a cookie now because I did too much of the white on it. The middle finger on her other hand I feel like looks a little bit more, but if I was to redo this, I would probably try and outline like the sugar cookie glaze a little bit so you can kind of see the definition of it a bit more. To make the chocolate drizzle nails, I decided to try my luck with some spider gel again. So I'm going to use the On Vogue spider gel, and it comes in 6 different colors, which is great. And they came out with a red and a green for the holiday season, which was perfect for this nail design. So I'm going to use the red, green, and the white to do the chocolate drizzle effect. And I found that the best way to do this was to get some of the spider gel on my gloves and just kind of like stick it together with my fingers, like getting more of the spidery jelly type of effect going. And then when I had it the exact same way that I wanted it, that's when I would place it down on the nail like really, really quick. And I decided to do this in red initially, then I decided to go in and put some green down too. And then lastly, I decided to go in with some white. And the white was so easy to use. I love the white effect and it really made everything pop. But because I did the red first and then the green and then the white, I did find that the red kind of got hidden. So I decided to go in with some top gloss just to top gloss over this. Now you don't have to top gloss over the spider gel. You can just leave it kind of as an effect on the end. But I wanted it to look a little bit layered, which is why I wanted to put a little bit of gel in between it. And then I went back in and did the exact same techniques again with some of the red, some of the white, and I didn't really feel like it needed any more green. Just make sure if you're using the spider gel that you are cleaning around the skin before you go in and cure it, because it will cure it down. The spider gel worked perfect for this chocolate drizzle type of nails, but I do look forward to figuring out some different techniques in the new year. The cake pop nails were the ones that I was super excited to use. So the first thing I needed to do was figure out what I was going to use for the cake pop stick. And I decided to use the end of a toothpick. So I just cut it down to the size that I need. And then I'm going to use some of the Wildflowers puffy gel, which is just kind of, it's a thicker gel, but it's still got like a thinner consistency. So it stays where you put it, but it's not super thick like say acrylic or their lace paste to kind of use, which worked perfect for this design. So I'm going to go in and put a little round snowman head in, and then I'm going to stick my toothpick in on top of that and cure it all in. Once that's cured, I'm going to go back in with another layer and kind of build it up a little bit more. I had to do quite a few layers to get it to be like pretty 3D and to also cover the toothpick at the same time. But every time I get the layer looking the way that I want it, I do want to cure it, because if I make this too thick initially, it won't cure the center of it. So I just wanted to do it all in layers. For the body of the snowman, I am just going to go in with some more of the puffy gel and just kind of build it up again, just like I did with the head. I did want to make sure that I was making the body of the snowman about the same level as the head. That way when I put any of the other embellishments on top of it, it will look all even, if that makes sense. So I found I had to do it about 3 times. I didn't want the cake pop stick to be that wood looking color, so I decided to take this buttercream and the block brush and paint the stick this silver color, which I thought turned out really cute and it was super easy to do. Then I'm going to go in with some of the fusion paints in black and just kind of a small brush and do the eyes with dots, the smile with dots, as well as the little buttons on his body with dots as well. And then I am going to take this orange color from paints as well and do the little nose. I'm going to take this Light Elegance buttercream in red to do the little scarf. The last thing that I decided to do kind of last minute was go back to the sugar cookie nail and do a little bit of kind of a chrome or like sugar effect on top of it. So I'm going to paint it with top gloss twice to seal it all in. And then I'm going to take this pigment from the nail team. You guys have seen this in a few videos, and it is called Snowdrops. And I'm just going to take a small fan brush and kind of dust it on top. But because it is a chrome and I'm using a tack-free top gloss, you can kind of burnish it in with like a wipe and give it like a chrome effect as well. For the snowman nail, because the little toothpick sticks up pretty high, you want to make sure that you're putting some gel underneath it so that it doesn't like poke and get caught on everything. So I'm just going to use a thicker gel here, and I tried using a micro swab because I thought it would work really well, but it didn't. So then I'm going to go in with a brush to just kind of fill in that gap, and you just want to make sure that you're using something that will help seal it down as well. So yeah, I'm using the Ugly Duckling Shtick It, and I did have to do this in a couple layers just to make sure it was completely covered underneath that toothpick. My last step for the dessert snail is to just top gloss everything, and then we are all done. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing how my version of dessert nail came together. I really thought this was such a fun kind of creative set to come up with something a little bit different for. So I wanted to take full advantage of that, and thankfully Pinterest did not let me down with some ideas. I have to say the little cake pop snowman is kind of my favorite, but I do feel like if you're looking at this nail as a whole, you're probably like, what the heck is going on here? So I definitely wanted to make sure that I was explaining it to you guys, that we did do a dessert theme. And make sure you guys head on over to Sarah's channel and see what she did for this one. She did this beautiful manicure. I love seeing how she does like simple manicures like this. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow for another Vlogmas video. I promise you, you will not want to miss tomorrow's video. 2 days from now, we'll conclude this series. Make sure you're following me all on my social media, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!